Hey everyone, this is Blackbinder, and welcome back to the Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Last time we left off, we turned off the storms, and now we can see Eothas in the background, and that's where we are going now. So we want to probably make our way back to the Grand Promenade and see if we can go down below into the actual city itself. Now I'm assuming there's going to be some Rauatayan soldiers blocking our way, but we'll see. Yep, there they are. Atsura trudges toward you. Oh, it's Atsura. He looks tired and haggard, and his robes are rumpled and torn, but he doesn't seem to notice any of this. He is focused on you.
So, it ends like this. Rauatai will accomplish wonders with this place. It is a shame you won't be a part of them.
Why are we arguing about this when Eothas is destroying the cycle? He cocks his head and gives you a pitying look.
Are you truly so short-sighted? Eothas will finish his work, and whatever comes next, I will see that Rauatai survives.
He nods to his soldiers who draw their weapons. Aw. Well, take out Atsura first, since he seems to be the danger. I want Aloth to put some tentacles down here, because I guarantee someone's going to fucking jump back here and try to kill me. Let's do Frenzy with Seraphim, and then have him Mind Blade the crap out of these people. Did I blind him already? I did. Haha! Wow, he went down quickly. Alright, everyone else, except for Adair, you do that. Take them out one by one. Need to take off his buffs. Look at that, 81 freaking health per, tick he was getting. Need to get out of there. Blind the Weather Mage. Kill the Gunhawks. Actually, you guys just kill the Hawk. I'll take care of the Gunhawks myself. Boom. Adraban. Lots of Adraban. Surprised that Atsura didn't drop anything more amazing. Alright, we are going down into the city. I don't actually think we're going to be able to explore the city. I think, yeah, we're just going to go to Moigueth.
You descend into the ancient winding streets of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the god's great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life. But with every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Eothas. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms. An immense Angwithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Eothas's massive arms swing back. The movement alone is enough to draw great gusts of wind toward him. When they come down on the machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke. The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Ukaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries. The pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Eothas' head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Eothas' attention. Fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you. With the same gentleness he showed at Ashen Maw, he lowers his arm and turns toward you.
Alright, here we go. What are we going to say to him? I think I'm going to let him destroy the wheel.
Strange to see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo.
The soul of Widewind separates out from the masses trailing in your wake. He looks up at Eothas and clears his throat.
Been a while, old friend. Widewind, I did not think to see you here. But few things go as expected when the Watcher is involved. We were a good team. Once. But this isn't what we fought for. Ain't you just burning the harvest because you planted the wrong seeds? An astute observation, old friend. Consider instead that I am giving the soil back to those who till it. Spring must always follow winter. As long as there are people committed to finding the other side of change, the agony will not last. But thank you for challenging me as you did in fairer times. I haven't forgotten the lesson we strove to impart. You're welcome, I suppose.
Widewind clears his throat and backs away to offer you space. Eothas shifts his attention back to you.
If we don't fix this mess you're about to cause, the whole world is gonna look this bad. I mean, it's a mighty heavy load you're putting on our shoulders. I just hope we can carry it.
As long as there are people like you in this world, Adair, I truly do. This power has always been in the grasp of mortals. Now you will finally be aware of it. Now you will be able to decide what to do with it.
Gone, please, I'm begging you. What do I do following this? How am I to best serve those still living? To improve our future chances of survival?
The Deadfire and the Eastern Reach are full of animancers. Women and men with brilliant minds who can solve this great problem. They will also need people with brilliant souls, like you, Shodi. People who can tend to the spiritual needs of the world in a time of fear and desperation. Remember, the flame you bear is not only light, but warmth. Provide comfort to all who need it.
I ain't never chatted up a god before. Feel like I should be asking something profound and philosophical. And yet, thing I'd be wanting to know, what be stopping the other gods from coming down and just setting this shit back straight? And then you breaking it again. This be our new tides then, all up and down, over and over, till the sea drowns us all?
A wise question, Seraphim. Have no doubt, some of the gods are already trying to figure out a way to fix this on their own. It is not beyond their capabilities. After all, we made these machines with the Huana many years ago. But it is not something they can do easily. Not without mortal assistance. It will be for mortals to decide if they should receive it.
Aloth shakes his head, looking up at Eothas.
What right do you have to do this? Destroy the wheel and leave us with nothing? without even knowing what will come next?
Aloth, we are all gods and mortals, responsible for our own actions. But inaction carries its own moral responsibility. It is a burden I have carried for far too long. One must always do as their conscience dictates, even if that means abdicating a position of power. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
Mortals are going to need a head start on things to prevent the gods from re-establishing control. You need to inspire them. After you've gone, the gods will go to war with each other and with mortals unless they have a strong leader.
And you believe I should give my strength to one of them? I am certain Boudica has convinced you of this course. Why do you believe I should give this power, which we have used so irresponsibly for so long, to any of them?
They are irresponsible because there is not one of you with the authority and power to bring the others in line. There is going to be a struggle among the gods. Your power can ensure it is swift and merciful. I meant him, but whatever. We'll go with they are irresponsible.
It is true. We created ourselves as equals, even if Boudica did create a story about her past to elevate her own glory. You have convinced me, Watcher. The gods do need a strong leader. I will ensure they have one after I am gone. I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer. You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it.
No sooner have Eothas' words entered your mind than you hear one final dissonant ring of the chime within you, then silence. The knot that formed when the pallid night first addressed you in the beyond is now gone. So we're not going to die if we don't do what she says.
You are free now. As free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you. But always remember that your future is for you to decide. Use your freedom well.
The end of the beginning.
Squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he draws his fists back and resumes his assault. The blows rain down with increased fervor, but the machine perseveres in spite of his efforts. Spreading his arms wide, Eothas draws power from the luminous Audra clustered around the valley. The energy courses through his body, limbs overflowing with intense light and waves of heat. He returns to his task, each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking stone and twisting metal, the flickering of luminous Audra across Ukaizo. As the ancient machine finally begins to succumb to his strength, so too does Eothas' body, built to withstand the passage of thousands of years. The great Audra statue has finally been pushed beyond its limits. Cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Eothas does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. Its brass rings twisted. The machine spins erratically but withstands the relentless barrage. Eothas stands astride it and pummels the base of the machine. Soul energy begins to flare out from the machine's heart, warping the air with the intense heat. Eothas drives his right fist into the machine's center, the core of metal and Audra. The god lets out a deafening shout, something between a cry of anguish and a roar of exultation. You see Eothas' arm shatter upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of light and heat bursts from the core, accompanied by a cacophony of destruction. The moment passes. As Eothas' shout echoes throughout the valley, your eyes begin to recover. The god's work is accomplished. The great machine of Ukaizo has been destroyed. The wheel has been unmade.
That's not good. Well, I mean, it's kind of good. I don't know.
As Eothas' voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god, You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel shattered. What comes next is uncertain, but already the legend spreads of the Watcher, who survived Andra's mortar and stood toe-to-toe with Eothas. Eothas channels his essence into Bareth, empowering the god of doors, cycles, and life and death beyond all other gods. Bareth vows to maintain peace and order in the here and the beyond, while Kith labor toward a solution. The other gods, for the time being, submit.
Good, that's who I wanted him to give his power to, Bareth. She seemed the one mostly, what do I want to say? Mostly
Under Bareth's guidance, the world becomes a
reasonable.
more predictable, stable place. Seasons fall into a disturbingly regular rhythm, and wars, famines, and natural disasters dwindle. But so too do surges of prosperity and innovation. Great minds around the world work methodically towards salvation, both unhindered and uninspired by changes, upheavals, and the unexpected. At Ukaizo, the Valian Trading Company discovers a cornucopia of Anguithan devices and artifacts, as well as vast reserves of luminous Audra. Under Director Castal's leadership, the company is poised to become not only the foremost authority on animancy, but also the dominant power in Deadfire. The Songreta Mea Compressa quickly approves the construction of an academy at Ukaizo, in addition to several permanent settlements.
Good. They were the ones studying animancy in the first place, so I guess they're in the best position to figure out the problem.
With the Kahanga monarch reduced to a figurehead, the Huana tribes fragment further. Some profit by working with the Valiants, and others find themselves evicted from their old lands. But for many, life continues much as it had before. The Valians' business interests trump their enmity, and they allow most of the Royal Deadfire Company's ships and personnel to remain in the archipelago to trade. Rauatai's legendary cannons pose little threat to them now. After all, the Valians could not want for better leverage than Andra's Spire. The storms across the Rauataian mainland subside along with those of Andra's mortar. However, Rauatai regards this respite with a wary eye, ever mindful that the machinery at Andra's Spire remains under their foes' control. The influx of Valian business into Deadfire creates an unprecedented opportunity for the Principes and Patrena. Though their dreams of conquest have been squashed, there are more than enough prizes passing through to keep the captains in silk and their crews fed and content. And business is good enough that the Songreta is willing to write off more than a few losses with each transit. The mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Valian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with angry words escalates to retaliatory killings as each side blames the other. By the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides have gone too far to turn back.
Maya caused that, I think.
The conflict eventually draws the attention of the Songreta Mea Compressa. They dispatch a mercenary company to subdue the remaining Huana and select a strict hardliner to replace Clario. Port Mage becomes a cautionary tale for Huana tribes that would consider violence against the Valian Trading Company.
Probably for the best.
As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. The Valian Trading Company builds up the port in Queensbirth. The company's expanding presence, however, quickly outgrows the dockside district. Company facilities and personnel spread throughout Nekataka. The pirates continue smuggling food into the gullet, and the Raparu embrace their benefactors, aiding and concealing their smuggling operations. Over time, the gullet becomes a hotbed of piracy, with Skiorelifus' essence still empowering the Watershapers Guild. The practice of water shaping grows and flourishes in Nekataka, and its practitioners rise in prestige. They install conveyors in the falls that run through the city and craft sculptures for every street and plaza. Thus, the Water Shapers Guild becomes a power in its own right in the city of Neketaka. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Eothas. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him, but that changes as word of Eothas' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same. Ruanu, the chieftain of the Huana at Tikawara, dies mysteriously. The tribe finds his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the Trial of Waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village.
Wonder who that was. I don't know who killed him if it wasn't the priestess.
The leaderless tribe eventually scatters. Some head to Neketaka, while others seek out the Wahaki. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart, exposing the temple long frozen within. Under Halfjorn's guidance, the Harbingers of Dusk resettle within Remergon's temple, vowing to forever protect it from the defiling touch of outsiders. Over time, the group becomes increasingly reclusive and fanatical, attacking any who dare approach their holy site.
Well, that's good. We created a cult. Awesome.
In besting the Beast of Winter, you earned the Death God's mercy rather than his enmity. The deity remains characteristically unforthcoming about his decision, and you're left to wonder whether in doing battle with him in the White Void, you somehow furthered his apocalyptic ambitions. Hundreds of Kith, and no small number of Wilder and Primordials, flee from the Black Isle, their minds a confused collection of inconsistent and contradictory memories. Each escapee bears knowledge that was once lost, and agents of the Hand Occult across Aora worked tirelessly in the years that followed to hunt down and end these fugitives. They find far fewer than they hope. Released from their bondage to the Sightless Eye, the Vithrak of the Halls Obscured abandon the Black Isle and resettle in the deepest and darkest recesses of the ruins beneath Neketaka. Sisak and his colony remain secretive and isolated, however, rarely interacting with those Kith crawling about in the sunlight above. Encouraged by her arcane successes, Bakarna returns to her observatory to continue her studies of the celestial spheres. In time, her colleagues in the Circle of Archmagi come to accept her among their number. She takes on apprentices, and they trumpet her praises as both a brilliant innovator and nurturing pedagogue. The fleshy mass of Wal's abandoned body continues to slumber beneath the halls obscured. Guarded, and studied, of course, by the Circle of Archmagi, the group establishes a permanent presence above the halls. And, with time, the Black Isles become one of the preeminent institutions of arcane knowledge in Aora. Infrequent but persistent rumors speak of an island overrun by primordial spore creatures, and ruled by a roughly Kith-shaped entity, more fungus than not. A creature well practiced at the most potent wizardry. No sailor or explorer, however, can furnish reliable charts to this fabled Isle of Decay. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed, in ways both big and small. Adair returns to Hesango, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Ilava. the boy takes heart in Adair's account that Eothas and all the other gods were false, petty, and unworthy of the love of Kith. Realizing how close he came to dying for this cause, Byrne finds renewed purpose in working alongside his uncle to repair the many scars left upon Deadfire by the gods. Under Adair's guidance, Byrne grows into the kind of irreverent, stubborn hothead that would have made his mother proud. And Adair visits her gravesite, often to tell her so. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter.
Watch it.
Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. After saving each other's hides a couple times, and sharing more than a few laughs, the two form an easy, and you suspect, lifelong friendship. Seemingly lit with an inner glow, Shodi takes to a new life of mission work with gusto. She still is committed to shepherding souls forgone, but having realigned her goals with that of her fellow Dawnstars, she now endeavors to help the living as much as the dead. As you travel the Deadfire, you find her sleeping better and laughing more often. When the time comes for her to return to her temple in Neketaka, it's with a clear wistfulness and much lip-biting on her part. She leaves you with her sickle and a hastily scrawled note. It reads, "A keepsake from a path once walked. Remember me, Watcher, for I will forever dream of you." Though the two of you no longer travel together, Shodi holds fast to the memory of you in her heart, remaining your fierce and doting girlfriend, faithful even
Wrong.
in her absence.
It's a wrong word to use. Don't use
Elusive and
girlfriend.
missive for every day apart, though they often arrive in a single bundle some weeks or months past. In them, she writes of how she misses you, how you are like a fire that burns inside her, how one day surely you will be reunited again. Until then, she prays for your safety as she continues to labor in service to Gon. Aloth renews his commitment to destroying the Leaden Key. With the wheel broken, loosening the god's stranglehold on Kith is more urgent than ever. It is a lofty goal, and one he does not expect to finish in his lifetime. But if there's one thing he's learned from the Watcher, it's that a single person can change the world. You let Romaro go, and the former pirate ostensibly set sail for the trade lanes of the Eastern Reach, the Edier Empire, Old Valia, and the Republics. For the remainder of your time together, Seraphon seems, if not exactly happy, at least contented with the outcome of your confrontation with his former mentor at Sayuka. And yet, when the two of you part, Seraphon seems emboldened, invigorated by a new sense of purpose. He buys you a drink, toasts to the Deadfire, says let's see if we can make something worth a shit out of what's left of these Principe swabs, and sets sail the next morning. In the years to follow, rumors occasionally reach you of the Blue Orlan pirate of the Deadfire, a privateer captain as keen to free slaves or fight for an influence as he is to plunder and pillage. For assisting the Watcher in securing Ukaizo for the Valian Trading Company, Pallegina is honored in a ceremony at Biajepe, attended by all 5 of the Duke's bells. Duke Ramasi is so overjoyed by his good fortune that he offers Pallegina a boon. She immediately takes the Duke up on his offer by requesting that the ducal charter of the Fremas Mes Conxualias be amended to allow the admission of women. Soberly, the Duke accepts, much to his chagrin. The following spring, the Brotherhood admits its first 5 girl cadets. Following her triumphant return to the Republics, Pallegina is assigned to be the personal guard of the Duchess Sparento. She excels in this role, and is favored by the Duchess above all other members of the Brotherhood. Their close relationship causes friction with the Duchess's husband, the Conta Maraba. His impotent annoyance becomes the subject of courtly gossip, and the inspiration for a well-received farce, staged at the biggest theater in Otsia. Time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rawatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhanded tactics she witnessed and carried out in the name of the homeland. Her voice carries all the way to the Ranganui, who reminds his admirals that battles are won by superior tactics, but war is a battle of precedent, and winning is not always a victory. The people listen. Though Maya's covert assignment in the Deadfire is considered a success, few claim knowledge of it or openly congratulate her. She receives no praise beyond knowing glances or the occasional raised tankard from her countrymen. She never responds. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Takehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. Ngati's silence speaks volumes. The Huana grow to rely on each other, paving a new way forward divorced from their traditions. Soon after he departs Negataka, distant tribes report of unusual and salacious water sculptures appearing on the shores. These quaint visitations are widely celebrated. The identity of the artist, ever an open question.
Good. He got back to doing his art. I don't put much stock in art in any amount, but that's what he was good at and that's what he liked, so I'm glad he got back to it.
He bids you farewell, suggesting that you seek your next adventure in a brothel or tavern, where consequences begin and end at the front door. He sounds eager to leave old conflicts in the past. Your pursuit of Eothas and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.
Why would I not take Shoti with me? Or why wouldn't she go with me? That doesn't make any sense. And why would I go back to Cadnua? The place is frickin' smashed. I guess I could rebuild. Alright, what are we seeing here? Is this the credits? Don't crash on me. Okay, there we go. We're good. Alright, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. We are done. Oh my god, this is the 104th episode, I believe. This one took a while. A lot of them went 45, 50 minutes long, too. Some of them even an hour. Holy cow. Very good game. I love all the classes, and they're all... I love the subclasses, too. As soon as it came out that they hit their Kickstarter goal for subclasses, I was freaking ecstatic. And I do like how they're all pretty different. I didn't really use the Trickster subclass on my Rogue to great effect, but on a lot of the other ones I have, like the Hellwalker Monk makes a really good ranged character, which is crazy how that works out, considering you'd think a monk would be melee. And then, what else? I liked the Ancient for the Druid. It gives you a pretty powerful summon. You can summon Sporelings in the beginning, and you get plant-based spells as you level up. But you take more damage from veil piercing attacks. So really, it's not a big downside, at least in my opinion. Basically, you take more damage from guns. But yeah, that was a really good one. I really relied on my sporelings in the playthrough that on Path of the Damned for that one. What else? Fighters were pretty good this time around. Unbending's a lot better than I thought. Not Unbending. Is it Unbending? Yeah. Unrelenting is the one where you get resurrected. Unbending, it's the one where it says it heals you for 25% of the damage you take, but it seems like a little bit more. But yeah, that's all the DLC are done too, except for there's a Black Pits one. I might do that right there, Seeker Slayer Survivor. I might do that off screen. Who knows? Maybe no. You know what? I might do that on screen. We'll switch it up to Path of the Damned and see how that goes, because it's a lot more fighting than I think it's just like you're basically in an arena and you fight your way through it, kind of like the Black Pits and Black Pits 2 from Baldur's Gate. The new ones. But yeah, I think we are good. Yep. I still need to buy Seeker Slayer Survivor. I never bought it. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it off, guys. Awesome freaking game. I give it a 9 out of 10 easily. Good graphics, good sound. I don't necessarily like the music, but it's at least it's memorable and it's good. It's just not my type of music, if that makes sense. What else? Gameplay, amazing, obviously. Like there are fights that really test you, so you have to use all your stuff, and then there's also fights where you can just power through it with auto attacking and stuff, which is it's hard to find a good balance of that, especially on a difficulty like Path of the Damned, which I have on some other characters, or on my other Let's Plays. Not Let's Plays, my playthroughs. But this game really did it well, I think. I do wish there was a lot less talking. Oh my god, Nekataka took so long to get through. And seriously, this game time, if you know what the people are already saying, it seriously cuts playtime through like at least in half, probably more than that. Like actually reading through everything or listening to all the voice work, which was good. It just takes so long. And a lot of the stuff they didn't even need to put in there, like describing, like they described how you went when Bareth called you. It's like, it described how you felt when you were getting pulled into the in-between so many freaking times. It's just, you had to come up with 3 different, like, analogies to explain what that felt like. Like, you don't need to explain it more than once. We get it. It's disorienting. But, yeah, that's my only pet peeve, is there needed to be more combat, especially at the end. There was no final boss. Did you guys realize that? Like, there was no final boss. Atsura was the final boss? Like, really? No. There should have been a final boss. There should have been more fighting, and there should have been bigger dungeons, I think. Oathbinder Sanctum near Nekataka, that was a decent-sized one, but it should be... there should be bigger dungeons than that multiple times. Like the Whale's Body, that one was a decent-sized dungeon, but also that was a DLC. They should have been in the base game, something like that. But yeah, definitely, all those are just minor gripes, except for the text and the final boss. That's the reason I'm taking a point off. Otherwise, it's 9 out of 10, definitely. But yeah, so that's where we're going to leave it off for today. So please leave a like or comment below, and feel free to subscribe for more full Let's Plays like this one. Look forward to the Seeker Slayer Survivor playthrough. I might do it once on my own first, just so I'm not stumbling through it like I was this one in the beginning. So yeah, take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time.